Good morning friends. Today we will start chapter 11, force and pressure. Here two concepts are there. One concept force and another is a pressure. First we will discuss force. From starting, from childhood we can say, or from the 3rd, 4th class you are doing force and you know about the force. What is force? And force is a push and pull. A push and pull acting on object. Is called force. Now we will see the unit of force. Unit of force is Newton and it is represented by the capital N. So force, its unit is Newton and it is a push and pull acting on an object. So by this Newton only, where our, like written here 40 Newton, that means there is applying 40 Newton force. Here we will consider how it affects us. Means what are the effects of a force. First of all we will see it makes the stationary object moving. Like ball is there. Football you can say, that is in starting condition, it is at a rest. After that, when you will kick it, then it will start the motion. So we will say it will make the stationary object to the motion. It will deform shape. Deform shape means any, we can say sponge is there, rubber is there, duff is there, and when you will apply force on both sides, then it may be like this deformed shape. Force, that force is an interaction between two objects. Interaction means some activity will be there. Interaction. So whenever we will consider the force, there must be two pair of objects. Two pair objects means two things we can say, and here give an example like door handle. Whenever you will press the door knob and then you will pull it, then there will be hand and a door. In this way there will be two objects. So there will be interaction while opening the door using door handle. There will be two objects, one will be hand and one will be door. So to open the door handle there will be interaction and we are using the force. Second example given in your book, that playing girls. Two girls are playing, suppose, and when they are playing, in this direction force is applying and in this direction force is applying. So these entities, two girls, we will consider as an object while playing, and force is interacting during the playing these two girls as given in your book. Afterwards, squeezing lemon means lemon juice we have to bring out from the lemon. So with our palm we will take the lemon and we will just squeeze it and the juice will come down. So here two objects will be, one lemon and second is your hand, palm. By the palm you will squeeze and lemon will come out. So by these three examples, opening the door using door handle, playing girls, both are applying that they are pulling each other, and the squeezing lemon you will take out from the lemon juice will take out from the lemon. In these three examples are showing that force is an interaction between two objects. Afterward, the unit of force I have told you that is a Newton. And if we will say the SI unit of force, that is also Newton, and Newton is represented by the capital N, then whenever we have to measure the force and we will say to deform any object, to make any object stationary to in motion, then we have to tell which or how much force is there. In this way, that how we will measure the force. So first, throwing a ball with the 10 Newton. You are throwing ball with your hand. This throw. Then from here to here, then ball is moving, throwing. Then it will be here 10 Newton force will be applied. Then only this ball will move from here to here during the throwing case. Afterward, to move a trolley with a 40 Newton, you know the trolley we are using to take the things in the shopping malls, and that time we have to pull the trolley with the both hands. So we have to use approximately 50 Newton force to move a trolley. To open a drawer that is in your almirahs or cupboards. So drawer easily opening, that will take, we will say that 12 Newton force we are using to open a drawer. So here three examples I have told you that are the interaction between two objects, then force is there, and here they are measuring, that means 10 Newton, 50 Newton, that Newton force we are applying. So this is the measurement of force, how we will measure force, that the force is applying over here. When we are discussing force, during that time, what thing we will observe? Sometimes we are applying force, but that force is not so efficient to move the object, or that is not so much satisfactory force, we can say efficient force to make any object that in motion to stop. So then we will just feel what is happening, we are applying force but things are not changing, the direction is not changing, that moving object is not coming on the stationary and the stationary is not coming on the motion. So one concept is given, that is known as inertia. Very small concept is given, inertia. Inertia, what is inertia? That is, we can say tendency, or we can say a property. So the inertia is a tendency or property due to which object try to oppose any change in their state or rest or motion is called the inertia. We will say, what is inertia? Inertia is a tendency in which any kind of object is there that will try to maintain its position. Whenever we will try to give a change in that state, it may be in, we will make to it that in a motion, or we will say that we will try to change its direction, or in this kind of changes will be there. That object always try to make its same position, it will oppose the change in the position. So that whenever that kind of things will be there, the object is not changing its position, that due to inertia. The inertia will be of three types: rest, motion and direction. When we will try to move any stationary object, stationary means there is no motion, that is on rest, and we will apply force, that will not move, that means we will say inertia is there, and due to inertia any object that is not want to move its position, it will be always rest. When we will apply more force, and we can say outside external force, that more than this inertia, then there will be change in its rest position. Same way, any object is moving, it will always move. If any object is rest, then it will always in the rest. If any object is moving, then it will be continue move and move, it will never be stop. And same way, any object is moving with the direction, it will be remain on its direction only, it will not change its direction due to the tendency only, or we can say due to the effect of inertia. And in what is inertia, I am telling you again. Inertia is property that will make its position, object's position as it is. It will oppose the change in the state like rest, motion and the direction. Okay, beta. There that inertia little concept is given in your book. I will you understand. Afterward, here let's inquire caution is there. Inquire and discuss. Here given. Whenever we are applying force, so the measurement of force, or we can say magnitude of the force, always it will not be same. According to the situation and according to the mass of object, we will change the amount of force. Like, would you be able to move or start? We will make to move object, or we will say start motion in a heavy object by applying the same force you applied for a lighter object. Here one object is heavy or one object is light. So amount of force always will be same? No. For the heavy object it will be more, and for the lighter object it will be less. When the heavy object that is in the rest and we have to move it, we have to change its position, then large amount of force will be required. We can consider 100 Newton force. And if object is lighter, weight is less, the amount of force will be reduced. We can say this is only example like a 10 Newton. So whenever heavy object is there, we have to move it, and when lighter object, then we have to move it. Then in both conditions, amount of force will be different. For the heavy object, force will be more, or for the lighter object, force will be less. In this way, we will say the amount of force which we are applying will be different for the different objects according to its mass. Okay. Now you will see effect of force on any object. Effect of force means whenever we are applying force, there it will show any kind of change, and that change will be different according to the object. Here given first, change the state of a rest or motion of the object. That means the object, it may be it is moving, then it will come on the rest, or it may be any object is at the static position, rest, and it will start moving when we will apply the force. According to this, change the state of a rest or motion state means how the object is, it may be rest or it may be in the motion. So it will change its position. First is given, the force can start a motion. How a force can start a motion? Example, many examples will be there. If we will see, a ball is there, football, and when players start playing, then first they will keep ball, then they will kick, then ball in starting condition, ball is in the rest condition, and after kick it will start moving, then it will come in the motion. So the force can start a motion. That stationary ball that was in the rest, it will start moving now. So that due to the force only, when the football player will kick it, then it will just apply force. So due to the force, that it will start a motion. Next example we will say, next point, change the direction and speed of a motion. So change the direction if you will consider, suppose that a hockey stick is there and a hockey player is playing. So ball is coming from the front and hockey stick, which the player which have a hockey, it will apply in the opposite direction force. That time hockey ball which we are using, that playing the hockey, that ball will change its direction. In this way, its motion and its direction, both thing will be change. So change the direction and the speed of motion. When hockey player will hit with the ball, then the ball's direction and its speed, both things will be changed. And same way we can say sometime that the cricketer also, cricketer when with the bat, it will hit the ball and then its direction and its speed also change. After that, the stop the motion. Sometime like you are going on the bicycle and your friend, what it will do from the carrier or from the behind, it will try to just block the motion, and that it may be you will fall down and it may be you will stop the cycle there only. And same way, and if ball is moving and with your leg you will try to change its motion and it will come on the stop, or we can say rest. So that moving ball is an example. Moving ball come on the rest due to your leg or due to your hand. So in this way there will be changes, change the state of the rest and the motion of the object. These 3 points will be regarding with the change the state of rest and motion. Next, force may deform. Deform means change its shape. Deform means formation is changing. Okay, so it may be shape and size will be changed, that known as the deform. The shape of the object on which it is applying. Simply, you have seen the spring. Spring is like that. In this way, spring is there. And when you will stretch it, after stretching, how it will look like this. So it's stretching. This area is stretching. So its original position was like this. Its shape was like this. And after stretching, it deformed the shape. Second example, you have seen in your kitchen duff, that your mother is using duff. After that wet duff, it will convert into the chapati. That is also deforming of the shape. Other example, sometimes you will hit any object with a hammer. It may be it will change its shape. It may be that it will become the flattened due to the applying hammer. So these kind of examples of the force when we are applying, and then it will showing us the changes. So these are the effect of forces. So that we will consider these things. This is the effect of force. It can change the direction. It can make the object in motion. It can stop the object. Maybe we can say it will become on the static position or at the rest position. It will deform the shape and size of object. So balance force and unbalanced force. Balanced force and unbalanced force. When force is applying, that time we will see that when more forces are there on the object or in the pair of forces applying on the object, that time we will consider that forces are balanced or unbalanced. So suppose object we have, suppose this is object, and from this side anyone is pulling with the 5 Newton, and from this side also 5 Newton. So we will see here the direction of force applying in this direction, and direction of force of this force will be in this direction. So we will consider then 5 from this, opposite directions are there, and 5 this. Then resultant will be 0. That means balance forces will be the condition when both forces, that direction will be opposite to each other and the magnitude of force will be equal. It may be here 10 Newton minus this can be 10 Newton, then it will be 0. Or we can say sum of forces like here one force of 5 and another force of 10 Newton applicable, and this side only one force 15 Newton. Then also we will say here balance force is there, because 15 from this side and 10 plus this 5 plus 10 from this side. So resultant will be, net force will be 0 Newton. In this way we will say there will be balance force on an object when two or more than two objects are in opposite direction, but their magnitude should be equal, means amount of force should be equal from the both directions. And now unbalanced force, same way we will consider unbalanced force. Unbalanced force when resultant, maybe directions different, but resultant force has some value like this. The force is applying from this direction is 15 Newton, and from this side that will be 10 Newton. So we will write here 10 Newton minus 15 Newton, or we can make it correct. 15 difference will be 5 Newton. This will not consider. So this force, its answer is not equal to 0 Newton. So here we will say the force is unbalanced. One more example we will say, from this side suppose 100 Newton and from this side suppose 200 Newton. So resultant will be 200 Newton minus 100 Newton. So it will be 100 Newton. Net force now applicable from this side will be 100 Newton. In this way we will say this side net force is applicable 5 Newton. So from this side 10 Newton, from here 15 Newton, resultant we will consider, then there will be difference, and that answer is 5 Newton. So whether 10 Newton and 15 Newton force is applied on an object, but effect of force will be only 5 Newton, and in this effect of force will be only
100 Newton.
In this way we will say on an object balanced force and unbalanced forces are applicable. So another way we will mention it, directions of force, in which direction force is applicable, that direction we will consider. If directions are same, in the same direction, if direction is same, then the force will be like this. This is an object, and from this direction 10 Newton force, 5 Newton force. Then how much force is implementing, applicable over here? We can say 2 Newton. Then resultant, we will consider if the direction of applicable force will be same, then we will add them. 10 Newton, 5 Newton and 2 Newton. If same directions of force is there, that means the direction applicable force will be in the same direction, then it will be 17 Newton. And if directions will be different, if different direction, then suppose this object, from this side we will say, and from suppose here 20 Newton, here 5 Newton. One more force we will say, from here 5 Newton and from here 2 Newton. Then how we will consider this? This side we can say left hand side and this is right hand side. So 20 Newton plus 5, it will be 25, and here 5 Newton plus 2, it will be 7 Newton. Now they have in the up to here we will see the direction is same left hand side. Here we will see the direction is same in the right side. But completely if we will say on the object, they are opposite to each other. So 25 Newton minus 7 Newton. will be 80 Newton. In this way, how the direction of force is applicable on an object, then what will be the effect of a force applied? We will consider if the same direction, then for all direction how much force is implementing we will add, and if the different direction is there, more than two forces are applied, then first we will consider the same direction, and resultant force will be subtract from each other. Okay, and last case will be there if we will consider this, it will be 20 Newton, and if it's 20 Newton, then 20 minus 20, it will be 0. Equal and opposite force, then resultant will be 0. In this case, there will be no effect of force. This case, when the equal and opposite forces in the opposite directions are applicable, then we will say there will be no effect of the force on an object. Here if we will consider, then different forces are there and directions are different, then these, when resultant will be some value will be there, then it will show the effect of force on an object. In this way, direction is a very important concept when we will consider or when we will apply the force. When we will consider balanced force and unbalanced force, in balanced force, that will never give any kind of effect on an object. That means balanced force does not show any effect on an object, but always unbalanced force shows effect on an object. Like whenever unbalanced force will be there, it will change the direction, it will change the shape, deform the shape, its size also can change, its direction also change. So unbalanced force, when there will be unbalanced force, there will be change in the object. With this unbalanced force and balanced force, after that we will consider types of forces. Types of force, there is two type of force basically. One is contact force, another is non-contact force. Contact, how this word is depicting the contact force means directly or indirectly there must be contact between two objects, or we can say when applied force is applied, then on object the applicable force should be in the contact, then it will be known as a contact force. And in the non-contact force, when we will consider this non-contact force, directly or indirectly we will consider this, there is no contact, directly or indirectly no contact between the object, or we can say whenever there will be the force and the object is there, so there will be no physically contact. So in the non-contact forces, no contact between the object and force. In the contact force, there will be directly or indirectly contact will be force and an object. Or we can say there will be interacting body. Interacting body and applied force will be in the contact, and in the non-contact force, interacting body and the applicable force are not in the contact. So it will be known as a non-contact. So non-contact forces we will consider, there is a gravitational force, magnetic force and a electrostatic force. In the gravitational force, first gravitational force. In the gravitational force we will say that whenever you will throw a ball, always it will come down. You are sitting on a chair, you are able to sit, we are able to walk on the floor, easily we are able to walk. So something is there which is attracting us toward the center of earth. That's why we are able to sit on the chair, able to walk, and always water will come down. If it is that spring upside, then it will come. Ball will throw upside, then it will come down. Then these things always that will be on the surface of earth, because only the gravitational force is there that will interact on the object and it will make on the surface of earth. All objects always attracting towards the center of earth, that is known as a gravitational force, and there it is also known as the gravity. Due to the gravity and gravitational force, we will consider this thing. All things will be attracted towards the center of Earth due to the gravitation force. So, due to the gravitational force, only we will consider that is giving us many benefits also. So, due to the gravitational force only, we are able to existing on the Earth surface. Next here, magnetic force. In the magnetic force, we can say when the magnet or magnetic substances are attracting, then there will be the magnetic force. Due to the magnetic force, magnetic substances and magnet will attract. What are the magnetic substances? Iron, nickel and copper. They will be attracted towards the magnet. Like this, two magnets are there, like magnet and magnet. This is magnet and this is magnet. Here north and south, and here south and north. Then it will become in the attraction due to the magnetic force. So magnetic force is the force due to magnet and magnetic substances will come in the attraction or will come closer, or it may be it will be repel. So it is known as the magnetic force. Now third is electrostatic. Electrostatic force is very interesting force. Sometimes in the winter you will see that when you will pull out then your sweater and your clothes, you will see take off. Then that time you will observe this thing. You will experience that your body's hair will be stand only, and due to the dryness, and that time due to your clothes and your body's dryness, there will be a force that is known as the electrostatic force, and that time you will observe the sparks and little that the dryness you will feel, that is only due to the electrostatic force. And common example you can consider, you will take a comb or scale and you will rub with your dry hair. Hair should be dry, there should not oil applied in your hair. So you will rub that scale on your head, and then on table you will put little bits of paper. Then when you will bring closer to the scale or comb with the papers, then it will attract. So that is due to the electrostatic force, because when you will rub scale with your hair, due to the dryness of hair, there will be a force produced, electrostatic force, and that will be frictional only for some timings only. Then it will start attracting the small things. That is known as the electrostatic force. So electrostatic force, what is the use of electrostatic force? Electrostatic force that is used in the purifying of the air in the industries. Wherever smoke is releasing, the smoke particles are attracting due to the electrostatic force in the chimneys, and whatever air will be there, that will be smoke free or dust free from the industries. So very important thing, by the electrostatic force we will purify the air. And the magnetic force, due to the magnetic force we will separate the iron objects from the scrapyards, and we can make the by the magnetic that magnetic force, and that will produce on the with the help of electricity, that is known as the electromagnet. Then we will uplift the very heavy objects with the help of cranes. And gravitational force, we have considered that due to the gravitational force we are able to exist on the earth surface, because all things are attracted towards the center of earth due to the gravitational force. Contact force. Contact force means whenever there will be the attachment, or we can say contact between the object and a force applied force, then it will be known as the contact force. It has two types. One is a muscular force and another is a frictional force. Muscular force also known as the applied force. Why the muscular force is known as the applied force? Because whenever we are walking, that time our legs are applying force on the earth surface. And when we are opening the door, that time our hands are applying force. And any of thing whenever we are using our body to do any work, that means our body is applying force. And in our body there is a bone and muscles. By the bone and muscles, whenever we will apply force with our hand, with the legs, or any body part, that time we will say this force is a applied force. And because it is applying with the help of muscles, so it is known as a muscular force. So with the contact of our body, we are making the object in the motion, or we can say we will stop the motion, we'll change the direction, we will deform the shape and size of an object. So that is known as a contact force, and in the contact force that will be muscular force and a applied force. After that there will be the frictional force. Frictional force, frictional is that is a friction and frictional force. That is very interesting phenomenon. Why it is interesting? Because in the friction, before we have considered the ball, it is starting in the motion. It is in the motion. Now, when we will apply the force on the ball, it is now moving according to the inertia we have discussed. The object will be continue in the motion and it will be forever in the motion due to the tendency of inertia. We can say that moving object always in the motion, it will not change its the position, and the rest position in the motion position, so always it will goes. So here also, when an object is moving, or we can say ball is moving, but a time you will say after some time the ball will stop itself without any applied force, or you will observe that no one is that picking that that motion. We are not just stopping, so it will stop itself only. In that case, what is there? There is a frictional force. In the frictional force, due to the roughness of the surface, that there will be frictional force. And when there will be friction force due to the roughness of the surface, when two objects will be in contact and there will be resistance to the motion, then it will be frictional force. So friction force or friction definition will be there. It will be only experienced by the object or entity. We can say we will experience the frictional force when two objects will be in the motion, and thus due to the friction force it will be resistance to the motion, and the object will be come in the rest, or motion will become the rest. That is known as a frictional force. Then frictional force we will consider. This frictional force depend on the surface. If smooth surface is there, on the smooth surface is smooth completely, then friction will be very less. And if rough surface is there, then in this rough surface very small bumps are there, then there will be more friction. When more friction will be there, then object will come in the rest in a very short period of time. And when there will be less friction, then due to the smoothness, the object will be take time to come in the rest. So that is known as a frictional force. Again I am repeating, muscular force, when our body, our legs, our hands will apply force on an object, then it will known as a muscular force or applied force. And when there will be resistance to the motion, when two surfaces will be in the contact and it will be experienced only, then it will be the frictional force. Or it depends on the surface. If surface is smooth, then less friction. If surface is rough, then there will be more friction. Okay. Next topic is pressure. How force and pressure are topic. So pressure we will discuss. Pressure, how we will consider pressure? Force per unit area, or we can say applied force upon area. It will be always in the Newton, and it will be always in the meter square, and there will be pressure. Fraction unit will be Pascal, and it will be Newton and meter square. So Pascal can written as a Newton meter square. So it is the pressure's unit. Pressure unit as a unit of pressure is Pascal, and Pascal is equal to the Newton meter square. So we will consider the pressure. How we will consider the pressure? Pressure is a force per unit area applicable, and we will say that force upon area. Force will be on in the Newton and area will be in the meter square, and pressure's unit is the Pascal. So we can write Pascal is equals to the Newton upon meter square. So Pascal, that means pressure's unit is the Pascal, and that is equal to the Newton meter square, and SI unit of pressure is a Pascal. Here we can consider now two things, that this Pascal or pressure directly proportional to the force. If force will be more, then pressure will be more, and pressure is inversely proportional to the area. That means when area will be more, pressure will be less, or if area is less, pressure will be more. How we can write pressure more if area is less? Okay, and if pressure is less, that means that time area must be more, and if pressure is more, force will be more. If pressure is less, then force will be less. Okay, in this way, more force, more pressure, less force, less pressure. If area is less, pressure will be more. If area is more, then pressure will be less. So this pressure depends on the two factors. One is the force and another is the area. So pressure depends on two factors, on the force, and it is known as the contact surface area. Means contact surface area means on which force is applicable. The area where the force will be in the contact, that is known as the contact surface area. So pressure will be force upon area. Pressure depend on two factors. So one is force. Pressure depend on the force, and pressure depend on the area. If we will consider force, applied force on the area, if area is same and force we are applying on the same area, one time, suppose less force, then pressure will be also less. And if we will apply more force on the same area, then the effect, there will be the more pressure. So here force, if area will be same on the same area, one time we will apply the less force, then the pressure will be also less. And on the same area again we are applying more force, then the pressure will be more. So it depends on the applied force, how much force we are applying. If more force we are applying, the pressure will be more. If less force we are, if the force is less, then the pressure will be less. Second factor, area on which the force is applied area. If area is less, in this case, if small area is there, this much area is there, and we are applying force, area is less, and we are applying this quantity of force. Due to the less area, this force gives the more pressure. So pressure will be more. Now we will increase the area more. We can consider this is the area, and this is area. Then area is more now, and that same force we are applying now. Then the pressure will be less. Understood this thing? When we will consider force, that time force value we will decrease or increase, but area will be same. On the same area, when less force will be there, then pressure will be less. And when we will exert more force, then the pressure will be also more. Now in second case, area on which force is applied, suppose less area is there and force amount we will consider in both cases same, then force is applied, that time pressure will be more. And in second case, when that less area will increase, now area is more, and same force we will apply, then the exert force will give us the less pressure. So surface area is less, then the pressure will be more. Surface area is more, then pressure will be less. Now we will consider the example, area on which force is applied, how it is affecting. We will consider blunt as knife and sharp as knife. You will see knife has two sides, one blunt and one is sharp. If you will cut the things by the sharp sides, this sharp edge side, it has very less contact surface area. If we will consider this thing, this is a knife, and in this knife you will see this side is blunt. So here area is more, and this is sharp as it is, so area is less. If we will cut from the blunt side, due to the more area, pressure we will apply the force, then exert pressure will be less. In this case, less pressure, and in this, due to the less area, sharp sides, that side is there as it's sharp, so area is less, pressure will be more. Due to the sharp as knife, we are able to cut the things very easily, but we are not able to cut the things from the blunt edge knife. Second case, sharp heel shoes, heel like this. If we will consider, then this is a very pointed heels, and this is a shoe. In this way, this is a very pointed heel, or we can say this side, one kind of shoes is like this, and another kind of shoes is like this, flat, always flat. This is so. Here, if we will consider the surface area is more, and here we will consider the surface area is less. In the flat shoes, we will consider contact surface area is more, and the sharp heel contact surface area very less. So we are able, whenever we will use the pointed heel shoes or flat shoes, then in this sharp heel shoes, exert pressure will be very more due to the less contact surface area. So we are not feeling so much comfortable. And and in the flat shoe contact surface area is more, so we are feeling comfortable while walking. And if anybody will stump on any other's foot with this pointed heel or sharp heel shoes, then it will hurt that body more as compared to the flat shoes. If stump out, you means you will put your foot on another's foot, then hair injury will be more in the sharp heel, or hair injury will be less in the flat shoe. Due to the contact surface area, hair pressure will be more and hair pressure will be less. Next case is nail. Nail is like that. In this way nail is there. So from this side, area is very less. Area is very less. So due to this very less area, it will penetrate in the object very easily. So it will penetrate very easily. When we will apply force in the very less force, there will be more pressure. So we will always use the pointed, very sharp pointed nail. This type of nail. Atmospheric pressure. Atmosphere. Earth has atmosphere, means a layer of air, a blanket of air surround the Earth's surface, that is known as the atmosphere. So that atmosphere, or we can say air, exert pressure, that is known as the atmospheric pressure. So pressure due to the air in the atmosphere is known as the atmospheric pressure. And if we will consider how the air pressure has, that is due to the weight of air in air column. That atmospheric pressure we will consider due to the weight of air in the air column. In the air column means from bottom to up when we will go, then it will form the air column. And due to the air column, the weight of air, how much it is, that is considered how much atmospheric pressure will be there. Like we will consider, this is the top of atmosphere. If we will consider here top of atmosphere, and this area, that is only 1 meter square. On 1 meter air square, 1 meter square area, how much weight of air column is there? That will be the atmospheric pressure. So we will consider the atmospheric pressure at the sea level at the normal temperature. It is 100 kilopascal, or we can say 1 lakh pascal. Air exert pressure, or we can say atmospheric pressure at the sea level at the normal temperature is 1 lakh pascal, or we can say 100 kilopascal. That is atmospheric pressure. And atmospheric pressure will be considered by the weight of air column at 1 meter square area. After that, this atmospheric pressure gives us many applications, and that applications we are utilizing in our daily life. So application of atmospheric pressure, first we will consider drinking with a straw, juice and the cold drinks we are sucking with the help of a straw. So what is in straw? Straw like this. Suppose this is the glass, and the liquid is there, and juice or be, and in this straw air is there. And when you will put in the liquid, when you will suck first time, then this air will be removed from the straw, and air inside will be less, or we can say very less. No air will be there, so no pressure will be there, or we can say very less pressure inside. But outside there is more pressure. Inside the straw, if in starting we are sucking, then air will be very less, so air pressure will be very less. But outside in the air, in the atmosphere, pressure is more. So that more pressure in the atmosphere will help to move the juice and liquid inside the straw. In this way, we are able to suck the the help of a drinking straw. Second case is a rubber sucker. In the rubber sucker, you will say the base of rubber sucker in this way is there, and this is the rubber sucker. And rubber sucker, when you will throw on the wall, if you will consider that this contact surface area of the sucker as compared to the wall, it is wall surface is more and this is less, and due to the less, this area has very less air pressure, and the outside air has more, so more atmospheric pressure will be more as compared to this area's pressure. So outside air pressure help us or help to this rubber sucker to stick with the wall. Again I am repeating, in the rubber sucker, the base of the sucker as compared to the wall area, that is very less, and this area has very less air pressure, but in the atmosphere there is a more pressure. That atmospheric pressure help this rubber sucker to stick with the wall only. In air more pressure, and in the sucker space there is a very less pressure. In this way it will be sticking with the wall. And in the drinking straw also, when we will suck, that time air will be very less and no pressure, but in the atmosphere there is a more pressure. The more pressure help us to suck the juice and liquid, and that pressure only move the liquid inside the straw. So that are the application of atmospheric pressure. Now how we will measure, with which device? One is a manometer. Manometer is a device which will measure the fluid, or we can say air pressure, and the barometer, it will measure the atmospheric pressure. These are the devices, manometer and barometer, to measure the atmospheric pressure.